Welcome back to CivilNet. I'm your host, Patrick Elliott. I'm delighted to be joined today by board member at UWC Dilijan and adjunct professor at INSELAD, Madam Elisabet Engellau. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
We're celebrating a momentous occasion with WC Dilijan. This is the 10th year anniversary of this fine institution. Can you tell us what is the impact that you feel that it's made on the education sector in Armenia and also abroad?
Well, you know that the school is part of a broader context worldwide in the United World College community. I think there are about 16 colleges around the world today, and there's a certain philosophy that is the schools are based on, and that is basically trying to create peace in the world by joining internationally based children in the school for an education of 2 years, and the exam they get, or the results they get, is NIB, which then takes them to international university. So the focus of gathering young people from around the world, I think we have had around 120 different nationalities in the school, which is quite an achievement. And the way they live intensely on campus, it's not only the education, but the activities around. And one of the big focuses is also to integrate and communicate with the local community. And that doesn't mean only Dilijan, but that also means larger part of Armenia.
I wanted to ask you also, I mean, how do you feel that WC Dilijan has really become a part of the fabric of the city? What are some of the examples of communication with the city that you've noticed?
Well, the students at the school have take on different tasks. They go out and they teach in the local schools. They go to the community center and they have activities and programs with the local community. And so that's one way of interacting. But then students around in Dilijan and in Armenia are invited to be educated, for example, in the Samsung project that is taking place on campus. So there is a lot of interaction, and I think what has happened over the years in Dilijan is that the community has benefited from not only the students coming on campus and being active in the community in different ways of teaching and organizing projects with students and other people in the city, but also what I understand is it has made Dilijan suddenly flourish with restaurants, hotels, shops. People are talking about I haven't been here for I was here 2 years ago, so I'm very curious to experience all of this, because I was here the first time, I think, 15 years ago. Very different story.
Yeah. So every year it changes. It's really interesting to see. I mean, we try to go once or twice a year to Dilijan, and every time there's a new development. There's more restaurants, as you mentioned. It's more lively. I remember a couple years ago when I first heard about UWC Dilijan, I was thinking, what is there really to do for the students in this town? Now it's radically different. But that leads me to my next question. I'm curious, what was behind the decision to get a United World College in Dilijan, of all places? Why Dilijan?
Well, as you know, Ruben Vardanian and Veronica, his wife, had this dream of bringing to Armenia an international connection through education. Education is the key in order to develop people's understanding of the world and being able to do good in the world. And they had this fantasy, what is it, nearly 20 years ago. And they invested enormous energy, got a lot of people to support them, to be able to finance the school. It's not a school for rich people. It's a school with scholarships so that people from Africa, a local village in Ethiopia, can come and have a good quality education here. And so the aspect of education being key for the future of the world and the international aspect of it was important. That's why they chose to go with the United World Colleges, which also has a philosophy of trying to create peace in the world with getting young people from all over the world together, which doesn't seem to be very successful today, but we can still hope.
Well, with 120 students at a time, right?
Yeah. Well, no, we have 220 students.
Wow, so it's expanding.
It's been, you know, each year we take in a little more than 100 students. Yeah. So together we have over 200. Fantastic. 230.
We can't ignore the current geopolitical climate in the world, and more specifically in Armenia. Can you tell us if you've noticed how the Karabakh war in 2020, the subsequent instability, the border fighting, and eventually the fall of Karabakh has impacted the work at UWC Dilijan? Has it dissipated some of the international attention or interest? Have enrollments been impacted? Tell us a little bit about that.
Not really, but the school itself has been trying to be actively helping students, for example, coming from Karabakh to be able to get education and find a place there. So I think the school is trying to be actively helping in the way we can. I think it's about 10% of the children in the school are from Armenia overall. Mm-hmm.
I like to finish on a positive note, so tell us what do you foresee the next 10 years looking like for UWC Dilijan? What would you like to see happen?
I would like the school to continue and to develop and hopefully get the funding together to expand on campus. We're talking about a theater where we can have more activities taking place. We would like to be able to house all of the faculty on campus, which I think is a more important aspect, because it's very important, the culture that's created. It's a community, and the community within the school is important, but also the community links outside to Dilijan and Yerevan, the Armenian people. So what I would like to see for the coming 10 years is that the financial situation for the school is stabilized, and that we can expand the constructions that we have plans for doing, and that the education, education is not stagnant, it develops. And so it's also important that what we teach the students is relevant, is important to change with the world coming now. We have AI, we have all kinds of aspects. How can we incorporate that to make the education valuable for the students? That's very important, I think.
Elisabet Engellau, thanks so much for joining us today.
It's been a pleasure. And I'm very much looking forward now to go up to Dilijan and participate in the festivities for the 10th anniversary.
You're going to love it, especially this time of year. It's gorgeous.
Of course, it's a magnificent place. It's beautiful with the mountains around and everything.
It's our little Switzerland.
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
Thanks again for watching CivilNet.